Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Gabriel Santos here, and in today's video, I want to run you through a process to help you understand what the cravings for marijuana are really about for you and how to find more sustainable, healthy solutions to deal with those cravings, right? Because the name of the game here is to become more independent from marijuana, meaning to have other ways to deal with yourself, your emotions, your life, as well as to create the positive emotions you're looking for in other ways than just smoking weed. And the reason is because most likely, if you're here, um, there are ways and times when you use marijuana and it ultimately brings you down, not up, right? And it has something to do with taking away your focus and makes you lazy, it makes you sleepy, it keeps you in a rut, right? And so today's video is hopefully to help you understand yourself more, understanding what your cravings are really about, and to find new ways to deal with them so that you can meet your true needs, which we'll get to, and move forward with your life, not backwards. All right, so here we go. So next time you have a craving, the first thing you do is you identify that you have a craving, right? Okay, I have a craving. Simple enough. The next thing you do is you identify the true need, aka the root. And so you ask yourself, next time you get a craving, what am I really looking for? What emotions am I looking to have? And what that typically is, in my experience, is you're looking for fun, you're looking for connection, you're looking for relaxation, and ultimately you're looking to calm your nervous system, which means you're looking to get a sense of relief or decompression. And on top of that, you're looking to feel up, stimulated, fun, happy, positive, right? And so you can see how marijuana plays a big role in getting you away from stress and giving you happy feelings. However, the one thing that marijuana may not do every single time is what we're going to talk about next, okay? Which is meeting your true needs while being sustainable and minimizing downside, right? And that's what your new solution is going to be. It's going to meet your true needs, be more sustainable, and minimize downside. Okay, so what that might look like is next time you get a craving, ask yourself, now, what am I really looking for? And you'll likely figure it's I want to feel relief from pressure or stress. I want to have fun. I want to have time away from this bogged down mode of stress and strain. And I want to feel free, right? Free from all that. Okay, good. Now, what's a way for you to get all those things that is more sustainable and minimizes downside? Right? Because we think about it. Marijuana is good because it'll hit those true needs, but it's not sustainable. Right? Because A, not only does it cost money, but it costs more time. And it can mess with your sense of focus. It can mess with your mental clarity. It can mess with your ability to show up powerfully the rest of the day, the rest of the week, the rest of the year. Right? So there's times when you can smoke marijuana, but there's times you can't. There's times when you can drink alcohol, there's times you can't. There's times you can, right? Blah, blah, blah. There's times you can't. And the issue that I think many of us have found ourselves in is, yes, we turn to marijuana for all these different things, but because we're so dependent on marijuana to solve a lot of our emotional problems, we end up needing it even when it's a time we shouldn't use it. Right? Because, for example, let's say you're someone who really values being present, emotionally available, mentally aware. But let's say, um, something's really hitting you, right? Let's say, someone is really sick, right? And you're feeling stressed, you're feeling overwhelmed. And if you're someone who relies on marijuana to deal with stress and overwhelm, yes, you get the relief, but you're not going to be able to be present, mentally aware, ready for action. Like, what if you need to drive somewhere? What if you need to make a big decision, right? And a critical decision, like, and being stoned may not be, won't help you make the right decision. Instead, it'll bog you down. And so we need to have other ways to cope, other ways to deal with our emotions, and other ways to generate positive emotions. And that's what this whole process is about. Right? So for example, let me give you one example. A while ago, right, I was in the middle of really, gaining independence from marijuana, having discipline with it, right, and creating a new life for myself. And I got this craving, right, as we all do. And I asked myself, what am I really looking for here, right? Step 1, craving. Step 2, identify the true need. What am I really looking for here? And at that time, I was looking for deep self-connection, deep stillness, relief from stress, time away from problems, and fun stimulation. Now, the added piece is, how can I meet all those needs, but in a more sustainable way that minimizes downside? Because marijuana would meet the true needs, but it's not a sustainable tool, and it doesn't minimize downside. And so the solution I came up with at the time was, hey, let's take a hot bath, like a steaming hot bath, and just watch some YouTube. And so it was perfect, right? It was perfect. The stimulated bath, right? The hot steaming bath, it gave me connection. It gave me relief. And then the YouTube gave me fun and stimulation. And I was in there for maybe, 20, 30 minutes. And so it was just this nice space, very similar to marijuana, right? This nice little bubble of time where I can just like, right? The only main difference is that a hot bath is more sustainable and minimizes downside, right? Because once the bath is over, not only am I relaxed, but if anything, I'm recharged, right? All right, my state has changed. My emotional state has changed. Let's go towards the day. What do we need to do? Right? And so it's a habit that allows me to cope, but allows me to be right back in there, right? Whereas for some of us, marijuana, it allows us to cope, but then it oftentimes further brings us away, right? Now, right? It's kind of like with coffee. Now I crash, right? Now I'm just like, and it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. Okay? Another strategy that I picked up along the way. And what you'll notice, guys, what I've noticed at least, is that the name of the game here is, how can I become a master of my emotions? How can I create a toolkit of coping skills? How can I be in charge of my nervous system? Which is a long-winded way of, how can I minimize stress? How can I produce as much positivity and positive emotion in my body as I can? Right? And so to list off, rapid fire, some strategies that I came up with, choose one. Very underrated one is just like taking a deep breath, just being like, oh God. Right? Because what I found is a lot of us are just walking around kind of like in fight or flight, right? In nervousness. And that's kind of what anxiety is. And it's just like in fight or flight, right? And so breathing is just this, and that's exactly what marijuana does. It goes from, that's what a bath does. Right? And so, next time you have a craving, identify the true need, fun, connection, relaxation, minimize stress. And then ask yourself, how can I meet those needs in a more sustainable way that minimizes downside? And then be open to solution. And see what happens. See what happens. Be willing to try new things. And what you're going to find is, the craving is not about marijuana. The craving is about connection, fun, and relaxation. That's what the real craving is for. Except that we've conditioned ourselves that anytime we're looking for fun and connection, it processes as, I'm looking for weed. You're not looking for weed. You're looking for relaxation, peace, fun, stimulation. Okay? And so when you realize that you can meet those needs in other ways other than marijuana, you can solve the true cravings by all these different strategies: deep breaths, hot shower, exercise, meditation, right? Hell, fucking having a piece of, having some cookies, whatever. Obviously, you don't want to create, that's why it's important to include sustainability and minimizing downside, right? Because you can have like chips instead, or you can jack off, but those aren't sustainable, and those don't minimize downside, right? So hopefully that made some sense. Leave down in the comments below, what you learned from this and maybe ways that you can utilize this for yourself. And yeah, that's it for today. Hopefully this video found you well. I love you all. I appreciate you all. As always, where you're at is where you're meant to be. And all the answers are within. All right, guys. Have a good one. Appreciate you all. See you in the next one. Peace.